That's fine, Badasai. It's the life of a streamer, man. People come in and ask a question, and then hours later, a different person comes in and asks a different question, or the same question. It's fine. Life of a streamer is repeating themselves, so it's okay. Tornadoes based on the quake. Well, I know that much, and I'm gonna get two, but I have more than one. Well, I could get a bunch of tornadoes, right? It's one, so I need 2 more for Zell, and I can get 5 more for Squall. I could just get 200 tornadoes in total. It's fine. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 1 is the only game where Square Enix has actually come out and admitted and said that they lost the source code on. The fact that they would come out and say they admitted that losing the source code on Kingdom Hearts 1 suggests that they would have done the same for Final Fantasy VIII or Final Fantasy 69 or whatever. So the likelihood of that actually happening is pretty slim. Waking up at 3 p.m. and going to work without pants. Hey, have you been sneaking in the bushes watching me again? They've said what they said was losing a game's source code is common, or more common than one might think. But they never said they came out and admitted for any other game this, but yeah. The thing is that once you make a game and finish it and have the tools ready to like craft and alter the game, you don't need the source code anymore. So it gets discarded somewhere along the line. I mean, nowadays people are way better at protecting it because it's necessary, but back in the day it didn't feel important. So they would often just whatever. Or companies change hands. Yeah, ownership changes hand, rights change hands, all sorts of different things. And a lot of the time, the source code is written by a singular person and not a company, and isn't appropriated by that company. So when that person leaves the company, they take their source code with them, and it's like they don't care because the tool's already made to make the game. They can still use the tools that have been made with source code to create the game. Right, exactly. Archiving is definitely more of a modern thing. Exactly. Hey, no claws, buddy. I don't care how much you want to snuggle, just keep your claws to yourself, huh? Oh, wow. That's crazy, Hardy. I didn't know that. Oh, seriously? Oh, that's actually hilarious. Oh my god, Cyberventure. I read one of the reasons why WoW Classic even happened was because Blizzard devs found an old database dating back to the patch they're using now, which is 1.12. Which actually is interesting to note why they're using 1.12 as opposed to any of the other versions or having a progression of the patches over time. And I guess now we understand why. Alright, I need a spiderweb and dragon fin. Can I do that? Spiderweb. Nah. They have random here, so we don't want to play cards, but we're gonna have to play Renoa's dad for into the ones. 4 to the 10s, 8, hundreds, 0. Someone said it was random here. Yes, it's a different number every time, yeah. I want to say it chooses from like a pool of 8 or so different numbers. Random with a siren card, yeah. What do you get with siren anyway? I'm pretty sure it's like something silly like a status attack or something like that that's not really necessary. I'm pretty sure the speedrun goes into the dungeon, so... Because I'm pretty sure they get brothers and stuff. No? I thought for sure I've seen the speedrun go in there. Keep your pot to yourself, buddy. Can you just chill? I don't want your claw digging into my soft, sensitive, supple skin. I'm a sensitive flower. Okay, I'm a delicate flower, little kitty. You have to take care of me. Gosh. No idea on that one, Zernel. Squall's very serious about the mission. A lot of the time, games have been built from the ground up, yes. But FF7 isn't one of those games where like they could use the old code because it's a brand new game. In fact, Final Fantasy VII is running on Unreal 4, right? Unreal 4, if I'm not mistaken. They're not building their own proprietary systems for the remake, which is a good thing because it cuts off like years of development. Hey! I see what you're doing, kitty! But what assets could they possibly pull from the PlayStation version for a remade game 25 years later? Oh, that was the kitty bumping the mic. I'll return to your resident, all right. I'll return to your resident so hard with my cards in hand. My big, thick deck. Of cards. Deck of cards. Triple triad, guys. Get your minds out of the gutter. Let's do it! About to do an important mission, triple triad, anyone? Hey, let's go, let's play some cards. Yeah, and I'm playing cards. I think something that's really important about Final Fantasy games is that they always have a lot of really complicated scripting involved. There's always like a lot of really in-depth animations and event triggers and it's like event like orchestration and orders and stuff like that. Like the games are always really involved. And I think because of that, it lends itself to being more vulnerable. And I think that's why a lot of Final Fantasy games always are said to be held together by duct tape and a prayer, you know? Because they still had to operate on, you know, really tight schedules, a lot of tools available, you know, that are available now weren't available then in order to like handle a lot of the heavy lifting with coding. And these were all kind of coded more or less by what was it, like Sakaguchi basically coded FF1 by himself or something like that, you know? The thing is, here's the end result. Final Fantasy games are never really easily breakable bug-wise without knowing what they are, without looking for them. Yeah, they're not too hard to find sometimes, but they're also really popular and have a lot of people looking for the bugs. And I want to say that like I've never encountered any kind of game-breaking bug with Final Fantasy games just from playing it blind, casually. Nasir, okay, yeah. Yeah, they aren't as buggy as some games, for sure. Absolutely. And they aren't, like... See, the sketch glitch is probably the worst one, you know? But I never encountered it. Right, exactly. It was the infancy of gaming and programming, you know? And the fact that the Final Fantasy games have turned out so beautiful and so wonderful and so intricate and well designed and well written is kind of testament to like how many punches they had to pull in order to kind of like get it so polished. but it works, and it works fine. You know, it works well. They're all great games. So I mean, yeah, say how you will about it, but these games are classics. They are era-defining video games. High polish, excellent writing, designs, systems. That's a really good place to take a look at all the characters. Zell looks great. Well, the GBA versions of the FF games weren't done by Square Enix. They were done by a third-party company. Or they weren't done by Square or Square Enix. Dun 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 dun. Where is Renoa's dad? Ah, such a spoiled brat. Me too, Patches. I'm super hype. I already have the SNES online, so I'll be downloading it later today. I thought I could play Triple Triad with her dad before the mission, but I haven't had an opportunity to yet. Started playing Breath of Fire again. My OC wouldn't have me resetting 30 hours to get a rare helm. Jesus. That's insanity, man. Can jump from train to train with ease. Can barely climb box. Renoa. You know what? I just realized a problem I have. People make a complaint about FF15 being set in a modern scenario, like a modern setting. Yet FF8 was already there. It was a modern setting with a little mysticism and fantasy to it, just like FF15. People have legit like military uniforms on. There are cars. Nobody complains about that shit in FF8, but they'll bitch until they're blue in the face for FF15. I hate all of the freaking irrelevant complaints people have about FF15. It bothers me so much because that game is so beautiful, and people just want to like bring up the most irrelevant detail that doesn't even have any merit, you know? Get wrecked, Renoa! Yes, that's true, if we're Tribble. FF has always been about mixing a little bit of modern, a little bit of fantasy, and a little bit of sci-fi, in different doses each time. But every Final Fantasy game has mixed all of them in some way. It's amazing, Panda. It's the best port we've ever had of any Final Fantasy game. And it's HD to boot. Just even better. Yeah, entitled jerk-offs that don't understand what they're talking about, Panda. That's all it is. Or people that are already ready to hate on Final Fantasy that are just looking for something to say bad about it. I think there were some flaws with the release of Final Fantasy 15, but I prefer the release version of FF15 far more to the Royal Edition of FF15. I think the only thing Royal Edition added was a lot of like contrived fanfiction-y nonsense to the story that seemed forced and unimportant and just like wedged into a place it didn't belong. 5 had future-y stuff. There's all sorts of machines and spaceships and stuff. 4 had a literal moon vehicle. 3, you get all sorts of advanced airships from a Lost Age or whatever. 2 had airships that were much more advanced and stuff too. Like 1, 2, and 3 and 4 had these vague sort of fantasy settings, but really were kind of a mix of both post-apocalyptic or postmodern, but also fantasy. And then 5 started really bringing them together, and then 6 had super like steampunk industrial sort of feel, and then 7 was Stro, you're dead. This is just straight up better than the original, period. This is 100% better than the original. Like, this is just better. It's just better. Like, there's no flaw to this one that the original doesn't already have, because this is a true to form Final Fantasy VIII game. It's exactly FF8, but prettier. And it has like speed up functions and whatever if you want them. I can't put it any more plainly. It's just FF8 but better. Period. If you like this version more, or if you like the original more, it's just like being purist, you know? But it's all, I think it's also being slightly, I don't want to say ignorant, but just like short-sighted maybe? It's not a different font, it's just like a polished, it's a higher resolution. It doesn't have a grainy, edgy feel, it's just smooth. I don't know. It feels like even if it were a different font, that's like the complaint is merely from it's different, thus I don't like it. Not it's worse. You know? Right, correct, Ted. They did some polishing on it, but that's all they could do is polishing. Penguinator, what's up, man? Thanks for the raid, dude. What's going on? True, fair enough. Yeah, you did say I just don't like it. It's kind of hard to determine intent behind the words, because it just looks like you're like, I don't like it, it's bad. But when you say it the way that, you know, yeah, you're right, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, you weren't complaining or saying it was worse. Oh, strength on him. Penguinator, thank you for 30 freaking 5 months, dude. That's almost 3 years, man. Thank you. Time for sleep. Have a good night, bloody da. One of the things I have negative to say about FF15 Windows is this. I feel it could have run far, far better, and the whole Coleman thing sort of agitated you. Well, it's just marketing, which is very common in Japanese, by the way, for ads to be in games. We've done it a million times with games in the past as well, like Mortal Kombat the movie or literal Chester Cheeto video game. But advertisement in games has been done since an SNES era, and it's a lot more common, like product placement in Japanese games than it is in US games, so it probably was a little jarring for us to finally experience true product placement. But yeah, I want to say we should be okay. No, Selfie needs Squall, so... Try to hedge very careful of the criticisms when I give them. Yeah, fair enough, Aki. I'm trying to be open-minded about people's discussions here, and I feel like I'm failing a little bit, but I'm trying. Crystal Faye taking advantage of that half-off sub love. Thank you very much. Welcome in, enjoy your new Moogle emotes, our adorable Hiso mascot, and taking advantage of the new subs half off. By the way, it's September, all subs half off. You can also give 10% more bits if you do a Subway cheer. How about that? You didn't even know Coleman was a real brand? Yeah, it's like really famous camping equipment. So I know there is a magazine down here. I can get it right now, right? This is the time I'm supposed to get it. I can't remember how to get it. Reno-san. Praise me, worms! But even in the US, advertised product placement or commercialism in video games has been going on for a while. We just don't really see it in the same way as like product placement in a game. Dude, those flames would be so hot, holy crap. That would be unbearable to be that close. Maybe it's fine because they're so high up. Auto haste. Maybe, yeah. See, you can see the cutscenes are smoothed out a lot too. A lot of the edges have been kind of trimmed down and to look nicer. Yeah, fire is hot, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but fire's really damn hot. And being close to fire is painful. You can't even get like a forest fire. Like you can't even get within like 100 feet of it without feeling the flames. You know. Oh God. There we go. Yeah, dude, Fedora Ninja. Did you ever get Brave Fencer Musashi and get the FF8 demo? I did. I love Brave Fencer Musashi, but I played that demo so much. Actually, the first one that did it was FF7, when like I remember popping in FF7 and watching the opening cutscene and being blown away by the visuals. And then when the train pulled in and it just transitioned from video game from cutscene to video game, it blew my mind. I was just sitting there in complete awe, and I was just so ready to go. Like I was just like, oh my God, I am so ready to go. This is so cool. The man behind the boxes. Oh,